Today I'll talk about planning a clinical laboratory. Objectives and scope of my present lecture include I'll discuss about location of laboratory, flexibility and future expansions, services and procedures, space requirement, procurement of equipment, manpower requirement, external service requirement, information technology requirement, financial planning and budgeting, and functional relations. So, what are the functions of a clinical laboratory? Clinical laboratory aid in diagnosis of patient, aid in prognostication, it acts as a control on effectiveness of treatment, it acts as a watchdog on environmental sanitation. For example, it participates in hospital acquired information control, it participates in teaching and research activities. So these are basically functions of clinical laboratory which we should understand before planning a clinical laboratory. What should be the location of clinical laboratory? For a standalone laboratory, location is decided on the basis of business management studies, whereas location of a laboratory within a hospital, it should be readily accessible to both inpatients and outpatients, and location should be decided with careful consideration of hospital traffic. We need to make a flexible design with possibilities of future expansions. So this include use of modular planning and movable partitions and standard laboratory benches. Planning a laboratory. The goal of planning the laboratory service is to create an environment conducive to the establishment of an efficient, economical, and creatively productive facility which reflect the proper program of both the present and future. Planning is a team effort and it should involve a pathologist, administrator, consultants, and an architect. So, what are the output of planning a laboratory? So these are the results of planning a laboratory. Uh, we understand the services to be provided and the procedures to be used in laboratory, the space requirement, traffic pattern of personnel, patient, supplies and material, the equipment required, the personnel required, external service requirement, information technology requirement, financial requirement and budgeting, and functional relations, both intradepartmental and interdepartmental. This is a schematic diagram of an organization which require a financial capital, process, technology, and the manpower. To achieve organizational goals, I have included space in it because space is required for a laboratory. So these are examples of organization goals of a clinical laboratory. It may be like to deliver timely and accurate reports, total customer satisfaction, profit maximization, or at least cost minimization, especially in non-profit setup or government setup. So this is the step one, services and procedures. Type of laboratory services may be routine services only. For example, laboratories associated with dispensaries and primary health centers, and routine and emergency services. For example, laboratories associated with nursing home and hospitals. We need to decide all the services which the laboratory will provide, list of all the tests and investigations, decide the procedures to be used for testing. So what is the location of laboratory? It should be in line with the main patient corridor. It must be accessible from OPD as well as wards and operation theaters because samples come from operation theaters, wards and OPD. If possible, corridor of laboratory staff should be separate. So, in space requirement, we need space for administrative area inside laboratory, a laboratory area, patient area, common service area, record and storage area, and museum area. Administrative area include space for pathologist, biochemist, microbiologist, secretary, clerk, conference hall, on-call quarters, and refreshment area for lab staff. It should be preferably located centrally and should be adjacent to the main patient corridor. Laboratory area. Here, actual testing of specimen is carried out. It is usually one half of the total laboratory space. It should be designed on modular basis so that future changes are possible. Modular design include modular area, modular cabinet, modular benches or standardized benches, as I have discussed before. So the laboratory area include following sections: hematology, histology, cytology, clinical pathology, bacteriology, mycology, serology, biochemistry, research area, and blood bank within the laboratory. Special care while planning should be taken care of for laboratory hazards, which include chemical hazard, physical hazard, fire hazard, biological hazard. Care should be taken for biomedical waste disposal, and special care needs to be taken for biosafety level for microbiological work. Patient area, there should be a patient area within a lab. It must be connected to the main patient corridor. It include following divisions: reception, registration area, phlebotomy room for patient, waiting area for patients and attendants, surgical specimen, indoor sample collection room. Patient toilets and washroom should be there. And then now there is a need for common service area. It should be accessible to all laboratory sections, and its divisions include glass washing, sterilizing area, media preparation area, laboratory material storage area, and staff toilet and washroom is needed. Then we require space for records and storage, for storage of records, for storage of slides and block, and temporary storage of surgical specimens. Museum is required, especially in a teaching setting. Then in the museum, there should be provision for antique room, and it is required for teaching purposes. Now we come on to procurement of equipments. For procurement of equipment, specification must be framed so that equipment possesses latest technology, and specifications must be framed so that there is fair competition, because fair competition results in fair price. Warranty and AMC oblique CMC must be decided during initial purchase itself. Mode of purchasing may be outright purchase or purchase on a reagent rental basis. So this is the brief list of various equipments which are required in a clinical laboratory. Regarding manpower requirement, for to plan a manpower requirement, uh, we need to have a thorough knowledge of strategic human resource management, and organization chart of manpower need to be prepared. These are various activities of human resource management, as we have discussed in our lecture series on human resource management. This is the manpower required for a clinical laboratory. A clinical laboratory require external services, for example, telecommunication services, internet services, electricity supply, water supply, and biomedical waste disposal, uh, final disposal of biomedical waste. Information technology requirement, there is a need for a good laboratory information system, that is LIS, interlinked with hospital information system, that is HIS. Link of LIS may be required with the equipment. It should be a bi-directional interface. And linked of LIS may be required with internet or web page of the laboratory for patient services. A good laboratory information system should handle patient registration and reporting, inventory and stock management, CRM activity, account handling, among many other requirements. Then we need to plan financial requirements of the laboratory. We need to plan about accounts handling and budgeting. We should decide about the functional relations, both intradepartmental and interdepartmental relations of a clinical laboratory. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.